Hello, welcome back to all you seasoned listeners, and welcome to you new listeners. We're grateful that you take time to listen to the Dhamma, and by doing so, we are certain, we are promised by our Lord Buddha, there will be benefit to us for the time we spend in the contemplation and the practice of Dhamma. We're talking of the Four Noble Truths. We started with that there is suffering, that life can be full of suffering, or at least intermittent suffering, that there's a cause for this suffering. That causes are craving and aversion, and some other examples I gave in the last talk, number 2. And today we're talking about the cessation of suffering. That's our goal, that's our hope, that's our expectation, that if we practice properly, slowly on, there will be cessation of suffering. In the Zen Buddhist tradition, they have this moment of satori, like a snap of a finger. Suddenly, there's a great insight, there's a letting go of the dukkha that was preventing someone from seeing the truth. But what they often don't mention is that's usually after a very long period of practice, whether it's a lifetimes of practice or a long periods of practice in this lifetime. I won't go into the details about that now. The point is, there is the possibility to end suffering in this life. We don't have to wait until we die and go to heaven. We can end suffering, and by doing so, we can end all future forms of suffering by ending the cycle of rebirth. So the Pali word is nirodha. Nirodha is the cessation of dukkha following the strength of our practice of walking on the path. Now, the word strength there is very important. If we're just dabbling in the Dhamma, if we're just sitting occasionally and not very long, if we don't have a strong determination with patient perseverance, we're unlikely to eliminate the causes of suffering. So, the cessation of what? What are we ending? Well, we're ending suffering. Well, what is the form that this suffering takes? Well, the Pali words are kilesa, or avidya, or dukkha. It extinguishes. Cessation means the extinguishing of. It's the flame of the candle going out. It's the cooling down of the fire of desire, bit by bit, in conjunction with. So we are going to slowly put the fire out. At some point it will be out, and that is a satori moment. But this is going to be in conjunction with Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So, if we are not improving, polishing, and perfecting our moral virtues, not to kill, not to steal, not to engage in sexual misconduct, tell lies, or use intoxicants, if we're not getting better and better and more wholesome in the practice of our Sila, we're not going to have the strength in our Samadhi to dig down deeply into the Dhamma, and through that quiet the mind in such a way that the Dhamma can percolate, can bubble up naturally into consciousness and bless us with insight. So Sila is essential. Samadhi is essential. Good samadhi is only possible when we can focus our attention for long periods of time, longer and longer periods of time, without being distracted by the craving to do something else. Maybe we crave to have a snack, or to take a nap, or to quit meditating and turn on a television or the cell phone, call a friend, go out, engage in the world. These distractions arise because our samadhi has not reached the strength that it must reach through practice. No musician, no artist, no scholar, no athlete becomes proficient, skillful, or much less world famous without enormous amounts of practice. When I was in graduate school at Yale, we had a guest in our dormitory who had won a European music award, and the reward was to come to Yale and practice music on a music scholarship. He went into the piano room and he played about 8 hours a day. He didn't play for an hour or 20 minutes and then go off and amuse himself. He played 8 hours a day. So by this example and the examples of all people who we have heard about, who've become successful in some way, you can be certain that they have practiced. And we will be successful only if we practice. And the more we practice, the better we get. If you want to lose weight and you go to a workout center, to a gym once a week for 20 minutes, you're not going to lose much weight, and certainly not very fast. If you go every day or twice a day and for longer periods, etc., you're going to be more successful. It's a law of nature. And the third one is apanya. So apanya is wisdom. So we have virtue, concentration, and wisdom. These are a three-legged stool. You take one of the legs out of a three-legged stool, it does not stand. It's no longer a stool. It's useless. It's a piece of wood. It's a piece of furniture. So we can be certain that as our wholesome lifestyle grows, as our ability to concentrate deepens, wisdom will percolate up into consciousness as a blessing to us, and then we will want to get better and better. It's sort of like winning a tournament. Coco Gauff, a famous female tennis player, said after she won the first major tournament, it was an addiction. She wanted to win more. Well, that's not the Buddha wisdom that we're seeking, but we know it's wisdom if it inspires us to continue our practice, and if it changes the way we think, not just the way we think, but changes the way we talk, what we talk about, the attitude that we have when we talk, and if it changes our behavior. It's not wisdom if it's not life transforming. And the problem with most Dhamma students is they get smarter and smarter, intellectually smarter about the Dhamma. They can talk about it quite eloquently. They have a good solid foundation of what the teaching is, but their meditation practice is weak, and the direct experience of wisdom is very, very weak. So they speak as if they have authority, but in fact it's all hearsay. It's all something they've heard about or read about or thought about, but it has not yet begun to alter the way they think, the way they speak, and the way they act. Okay, thank you. Thank you for reaching the end of the talk. I hope this is food for thought. I hope you will consider and contemplate and investigate and analyze your mind to see how you are and are not practicing in the way that will lead to the cessation of suffering. Thank you. Hope you'll tune in again.